This is an ACU Centre for Liturgy podcast. Speaking of liturgy, the best sacred sculptures draw us in and connect us with the divine. Speaking of liturgy, Linda Klarfeld, a sculptor of more than 35 years based in Southport near Brisbane, Australia, discusses the creative process, the relationship between sculpture and spirituality, and her approach to working with faith communities that commission artistic works.
Art can transcend words and speak directly to our hearts and help us feel closer to God. Every sculpture I create starts with a lot of thought and care, aiming to bring faith to life. For example, I made a bronze statue of St. John Paul II at St. Patrick's Cathedral in Parramatta. In this work, the Pope is shown with 4 teenagers. The girl stands ready to receive his blessing, a boy running up the stairs towards him wears the Australian flag, and 2 young people are taking selfies. This statue shows the Pope's love for young people and celebrates the joy of World Youth Day. By featuring today's youth in an important monument like that in front of a cathedral, the work lets viewers see themselves in the scene, helping them to connect with their faith and see it as relevant and important now as it was thousands of years ago. One big challenge for any artist is not just to copy a person's face or figure, but to capture the feeling and spirit behind it. It has to communicate on a subconscious and deeper level. Making a sculpture is more than just shaping materials. It is a very meditative process and feels like prayer. When I work on a piece, I clear my mind and focus only on what I am creating and try to connect with the divine. It is a very spiritual feeling. I feel like I'm not there, but that I'm a vessel that is being used for communication, and I have to trust that there will be some result at the end because I'm usually starting with just a lump of clay. That can be daunting when you know that your sculpture will be there for hundreds of years. And despite having been sculpting now for over 35 years, I'm still surprised when I see the work when it's finished in its clay form because I don't really remember making it. Every step, from shaping the clay to casting the bronze, takes time and patience. This slow, careful process reminds me that faith, like art, grows over time. It teaches me to be patient, to trust, and to know that every effort brings a deeper connection with the divine. My journey as a sacred artist has changed my life. I was born in a country where people could not freely practice religion, so I did not grow up with a strong sense of faith. Over time, as I began working on sacred art, I started learning more about the Catholic faith. I read the Bible, learned about the saints, and discovered the meaning behind many religious symbols. This knowledge changed the way I see the world and my art. Now I understand better the deep beauty and meaning in our traditions. Each project teaches me more about faith, making my work richer and helping me share my own spiritual journey with others. Creating a piece of sacred art is a team effort. It all begins with talking to the people in the community, including church leaders and parishioners. We discuss what the artwork should say and how it should make people feel. These conversations help me understand what is important to the community. The entire process, from early sketches to the finished sculpture, can take several months. This teamwork makes the art very special. The piece becomes part of the community's life and a lasting reminder of their shared faith. Everyone involved shares the joy of creating something that touches people's hearts. Commissioned art is very different from mass-produced art. When a piece is made just for a church or community, it carries a special meaning. It tells the unique story of that group's faith and identity and specifically fits the site. A commissioned sculpture can be a marker, a place where people pause to pray and reflect. It makes the worship space more beautiful and inviting. People see their own stories and feelings in the art, which helps them feel more connected to their faith. Commissioned art is not just decoration, it is a meaningful part of the spiritual life that lasts for many years. For example, I was asked to make a sculpture of Jesus on the Mount for Mortlake Parish. The sculpture was to make people feel welcome and provide them relief from daily stress. I designed a relaxed Jesus sitting on a high sandstone rock. His mouth is partially open, as if saying something, and I made one hand bigger and outstretched toward the viewer. This was deliberate because I hoped it would feel as if he was talking to the person who is touching him. Touch brings us comfort. The feedback I got from the parish priest was that there is not a day when he doesn't pass by the green space and see people touching Jesus' hand. The piece has become a local icon. People of all kinds come and touch it, talk to him, and just sit in the space. In the end, sacred sculptures help us see the connection between our daily lives and the divine. Creating these works is both a blessing and a big responsibility. Every piece is a journey of learning, sharing, and growing in faith. I hope that through my art, people can find a deeper understanding of God and feel a stronger connection to their own spirituality.
That was sculptor Linda Klarfeld discussing the creative process and how sacred sculpture connects faith to life. The ACU Centre for Liturgy, which provides pastoral formation in liturgy across Australia and beyond, is pleased to provide this podcast, Speaking of Liturgy.